The cornerstone of our methodology lies in cultivating a profound sense of awareness that extends beyond the usual confines of our immediate physical surroundings and the objects within them. This heightened awareness requires us to tune into the subtleties of the environment around us, moving our focus from the tangible and concrete to a more expansive and inclusive perception. It's about attuning ourselves to the nuances of energy and presence that permeate a room or any space we occupy, tapping into a sensory ability inherent in all of us, yet rarely utilized to its full potential. This shift in attention involves a transition from a state where our awareness is narrowly fixated on specific physical elements, such as objects, people, or tasks at hand, to a state where our perception becomes more holistic and encompassing. It's about perceiving the interconnectedness of the space we are in, recognizing that our environment is more than just a collection of separate physical entities. It's about sensing the subtle interactions between these entities, the flow of energy around them, and the overall ambience of a space. Developing this kind of awareness is akin to fine tuning an instrument. It requires practice, patience, and a certain degree of sensitivity. It involves training the mind to become more receptive to the less obvious aspects of our surroundings. For instance, when we enter a room, rather than immediately focusing on the people or objects in it, we might pause to feel the overall atmosphere, to sense the energy that the space exudes. This could involve noticing the quality of the light, the textures of the surfaces, the arrangement of objects in relation to each other, and the subtle shifts in air or energy as people move and interact within the space. Moreover, this approach is not just about enhancing our physical perception. It's about developing an intuitive understanding of the spaces we inhabit. This includes being attuned to the emotional and psychological energies present in an environment, sensing the mood of a room, the undercurrents of emotion in a group of people, or the general vibe of a place. This kind of sensitivity can significantly enrich our interactions with others and our understanding of different environments. Learning to sense the space around us also involves acknowledging and respecting the unseen forces that influence our experiences. Every environment has its unique energy signature, shaped by various factors, including its history, the people who inhabit it, and their collective emotions and thoughts. By becoming aware of these subtle energies, we can navigate our surroundings more effectively and harmoniously, enhancing our ability to perceive beyond the immediate and tangible can be achieved through simple yet effective exercises integrated into our daily routines. These practices are designed to train the brain to expand its focus from specific objects to a more comprehensive awareness of the environment. By incorporating these exercises into everyday activities, we can gradually develop a more inclusive and holistic perception. One such exercise involves altering our focus during routine tasks, such as making a cup of tea. Typically, we might concentrate solely on the act of pouring the tea, but the exercise encourages us to expand our awareness to encompass the entire room. This means noticing the play of light on surfaces, the arrangement of furniture, the sounds in the background, and even the air movement. Such a shift in focus helps the brain to break free from its habitual narrow concentration, training it to acknowledge and appreciate the broader context in which we exist. Another example of this practice can be experienced while walking in a forest. Instead of focusing exclusively on the path ahead or the immediate surroundings, we can pause to absorb the entirety of the forest environment. This includes tuning into distant sounds, such as a bird chirping high up in the canopy, feeling the texture of the air and the texture of the air, and becoming aware of the interplay of shadows and light filtering through the trees. By doing so, we not only enhance our sensory experience, but also encourage our brain to adopt a more expansive view of our surroundings. This practice can also be applied in social settings. For instance, in a conversation with someone, instead of focusing solely on the individual or the dialogue, we can expand our awareness to include the room's ambience, the body language of those around us, and the general energy of the gathering. This broader perspective can lead to a deeper understanding of the interaction's context and a more empathetic engagement with others. Similarly, while engaged in solitary activities like reading or working on a computer, we can take brief moments to lift our gaze and absorb the space around us. This could involve observing the play of light on different objects, the arrangement of items on a desk, or the distant sounds outside a window. Such moments of expanded awareness can provide a refreshing mental break and enhance our overall mindfulness. The analytical mind, while a powerful tool for problem solving and critical thinking, can become a barrier to achieving a state of open awareness, particularly under stress. The nature of analytical thinking is such that it thrives on differentiation, categorization, and a binary mode of understanding the world. This often manifests as a mental fixation on categorizing experiences as good or bad, right or wrong, or past and future. Such a thought process, while useful in certain contexts, limits our perspective to a dichotomous framework, restricting our ability to perceive the subtleties and complexities of our environment. When under stress, the analytical mind's tendency to categorize and differentiate becomes even more pronounced. Stress often triggers a fight or flight response, which further narrows our focus as we become preoccupied with identifying potential threats and formulating strategies to mitigate them. In such a state, attempting to broaden our focus can be particularly challenging, as the stressed analytical mind may inadvertently delve deeper into analysis, dissecting, and evaluating every aspect of our experience rather than simply observing it. To move beyond the constraints of the analytical mind, especially in times of stress, it's crucial to develop techniques that help slow down our thought processes. Slowing down our thinking allows us to step back from the immediate demands of analytical reasoning and open ourselves to a more expansive view of our surroundings. One effective way to achieve this is through practices such as mindfulness and meditation. These practices encourage a state of present moment awareness where we observe our thoughts and experiences without judgment or the need to categorize them. Another helpful approach is to engage in activities that naturally draw us out of analytical thinking. This could include creative pursuits like painting, writing, or playing music, which encourage a flow state where we become immersed in the activity without the constant need to analyze our actions. Physical activities like yoga, sei, chi, or even a simple walk in nature can also help shift our focus away from analytical thinking, allowing us to connect more deeply with our body and the environment. It's also beneficial to cultivate an attitude of curiosity and openness. When we approach situations with a sense of wonder and a desire to explore rather than to analyze and solve, we naturally broaden our focus. This shift in attitude can transform everyday experiences, allowing us to perceive them with fresh eyes and a new perspective. Transforming our focus from a narrow, object oriented perspective to a more open, expansive awareness is a journey that requires both practice and patience. It's a subtle art of shifting attention, not about forcefully broadening our view or striving for an unattainable standard of perfection. The goal is to gently guide our awareness, allowing it to naturally expand and take in more than just the immediate, tangible elements in our environment. This broader perspective can significantly enhance our understanding and experience of the world. This practice can be seamlessly integrated into everyday life, making it a practical and accessible approach for anyone. For instance, while driving, instead of solely focusing on the road or the car's interior, we can expand our awareness to include the space around the vehicle, the landscape we pass through, and the sky above. This shift in focus from the confined space of the car to the broader environment can have a calming effect, reducing the stress often associated with driving. Similarly, when in a room, instead of fixating on specific objects or tasks, we can practice sensing the room as a whole. The layout, the way light interacts with surfaces, the various textures, and the overall atmosphere. This practice can transform mundane experiences like sitting in a meeting or relaxing at home into opportunities for mindfulness and presence. Gradually, these practices lead to a more balanced state of mind and body. When we regularly engage in expanding our awareness, we cultivate a sense of equanimity and calm. This expanded focus can also foster a deeper connection with our surroundings as we begin to appreciate the interplay of elements and the subtle nuances of our environment. Moreover, this practice of open awareness can be particularly beneficial in social interactions. By broadening our focus beyond just the individual we are interacting with, we become more attuned to the dynamics of the group, the energy of the conversation, and the unspoken nuances that often go unnoticed. This heightened social awareness can lead to more empathetic and meaningful connections. In addition to improving our external experiences, expanding our focus can have profound internal benefits. It encourages a shift from a reactive stimulus driven mode of operation to a more reflective and contemplative state. This shift can enhance our ability to respond thoughtfully to situations rather than reacting impulsively, leading to better decision making and a greater sense of control over our emotional responses. Furthermore, as we practice this expanded focus, we may find a decrease in feelings of stress and anxiety. By moving our attention away from the constant chatter of our minds and the narrow focus on problems or tasks, we create a space of mental clarity and tranquility. This mental space is conducive to creativity, problem solving, and a general sense of well being. Integrating the practice of open focus into daily life is a journey that combines consistency with a sense of ease and playfulness. Rather than approaching this practice with a sense of strain or effort, it's more about gently guiding our attention in a relaxed manner. This approach involves finding joy and curiosity in the process of expanding our awareness, turning routine activities into opportunities for mindfulness and connection. For example, when brushing our teeth, instead of mechanically going through the motions, we can use this time to become aware of our surroundings. The feel of the brush, the sound of the brush, the sound of the water, the space of the bathroom around us. Similarly, as we lie in bed, we can shift our focus from the immediate comfort of our bedding to the room's ambience, the air's temperature, and the sounds that drift in from outside. In doing so, we begin to appreciate the complexity and richness of even the simplest moments. While sitting in our car, rather than being solely focused on the destination or the act of driving, we can expand our awareness to include the space inside the vehicle, the sensation of movement, and the landscape we are passing through. This practice helps us become more present and connected to our journey, transforming mundane commutes into moments of mindfulness and reflection. Focusing on energy and space in these everyday scenarios allows us to attune to the subtler aspects of reality. We start to perceive the world not just as a collection of solid objects, but as a dynamic interplay of energy and frequency. This shift in perception can deepen our understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and enhance our appreciation for the beauty and complexity of the world around us. Moreover, this practice of open focus can lead to small yet significant victories in expanding our awareness. Each time we successfully shift our attention from the narrow to the broad, we strengthen our ability to be present and connected. These small achievements accumulate over time, contributing to a profound transformation in how we experience and interact with the world. In addition to its benefits for personal awareness, This practice can also positively impact our interactions with others. By becoming more present and attentive, we can engage with people more fully, listen more deeply, and respond more empathetically. This enhanced social awareness can lead to stronger, more meaningful relationships and a greater sense of community and belonging.